Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for joining me. This is a continued conversation pertaining to the Sebastian Rogers case. But tonight, the topic will not be about Sebastian. It will be about his bio donor and her husband. So feel free to sit back, relax, join the show, and join the panel to give your opinion pertaining to Mary Sunshine and Croth'S marriage. Yes, I'm talking about the marriage, the union, because there's a whole child missing from this address at 1008 Stafford Court. And let me say this before I go into my commentary. I can ask any question I want to ask pertaining to a potential crime. Everything matters. Everything is relevant about every participant in the storyline. So I make no excuses for any question I ask on a poll, in a post, or during my commentary. Let me make that clear. I ask whatever the hell I want to ask. And hell yeah, I'm asking, are these two intimate? I don't care if you don't want to hear the answer. I don't care if you don't like the question. It's my question. I'm discussing it. Don't matter if you don't like it or not. These people had a whole child in their possession, and now they are scot-free and clear. And if I believe what I think I believe, why wouldn't I ask about the dynamic of these people today, 1 year later, if they're happy, if they enjoy one another's company, if they are headed for a divorce? We're going to talk about all of that. If they're intimate. Not that I need details, but it's just a question. So keep your britches on. It's not that serious. Let's get down to business, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome during this live stream. Get your popcorn, your snacks, your wine, your beer, your whiskey, your coffee, your cappuccino. Enjoy the ride. Welcome all new viewers, subscribers. And check out Mr. Seth Rogers' earlier content pertaining to the disappearance of his son, Sebastian Rogers. Let's get down to business, everybody. We're going to go to my community page, and the link is in the chat at the top of this live stream. If you want to hit that link and join the queen, you can show yourself, not show yourself, but we want to make this an in-depth discussion. It keeps the continuity of the content flowing if we have other people participate and give their opinion. Here we go. Are the Proudfoots intimate? Next live. Join me tonight. In-depth discussion on their marriage. Don't be late. Don't forget the wine and the snacks. All right. 7% of you said yes, they are. 29% said no. 40% said sometimes, rarely, not sure. 24%, 68 votes. Which Proudfoot has remorse, regret for harming Sebastian Rogers? 23% says Katie. Chris, 1%. Neither, 70%. Wow. Not sure, 6%. Thank you for those who voted. 80 people voted. Thank you. So basically, the majority of you believe neither one has any regrets or remorse. I asked this question. I don't know why that would offend anyone, because there are some people who commit crimes and they do have regrets and remorse. I'm not saying that these two have it. It's just a question. Do either Proudfoot? I think I asked it 2 times. I doubled up on that. Sorry about that. So it's about the same thing. Yes, 12%, 68% no, 20% not sure. I don't know why I have this 2 times. I think I did a reprint. Sorry about that. I doubled up on that question. Next question. Will the Proudfoots eventually turn on one another? 43% yes, 15% no, 12% not sure, 30% says hope so. The Sumner County Sheriff believes the Proudfoots are innocent after recent interviews. 10% yes, 45% no, 21% not sure. They've been known they are guilty, 23%. The first one to flip on the other one, Christopher Proudfoot, 55%. Katie Proudfoot, 25%. Not sure, 19%. Is Christopher Proudfoot working on wife number 6? 71% of you all said yes. 5% said no. Not sure, 14%. He has another woman, 9%. Wow. Are the Proudfoots happy? 2% yes. 85% no. 8% not sure. They both want out, 5%. Your thoughts on the News 4 interview with the Proudfoots? It was bullshit, 85%. Believable, 6%. Not sure, 9%. Could care less, 0%. Please check out my content, my past live streams on the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers 1 year later. Saturday, there will be a vigil pertaining to the child orchestrated by Mr. Seth Rogers. This conversation is not about Sebastian Rogers. Let me make that clear. So I will not entertain any comments in the chat about Sebastian. This is not a Sebastian conversation. So I want to make that clear. We're not talking about where, why, what. I've already done that content. So feel free to go back to those earlier live streams to listen in on my commentary on the who, the where, the why, the what. This conversation is about Mary Sunshine and Crith only. Are they happy? Are they intimate? Will one flip on the other one? Is one about to flip on the other one? Are they having affairs? That's what we're talking about tonight for this live stream. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Please be safe. Be aware of your faculties. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Welcome to live number 2. Thank you for your time. Hello, how are you? Mandy Moo says, I don't think they are. They're in agreement, though. He gets to slip it to whomever. Wow, and she gets to spend the money. Both are happy. So you believe, Miss Mandy Moo, that these two are happy. Wow, okay. Interesting. Would you like to come up on the panel and give your opinion? The link is in the chat. Got a few people viewing. Thank you all so much for your time. This is an in-depth discussion about Mary Sunshine. Someone gave these two these names earlier in my live stream. Feel free to check out that live stream pertaining to the second interview by Mary Sunshine and Crith. Too funny. I had to put that in the title. I don't really know. Hello, Perspective. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I don't know if they're having sex or not. I don't know if they're happy. I don't see how they could be happy. But as I said before in my last live stream, people commit all types of crimes around the world. And they're complicit. One finds out. One's threatened. One stays. Two stay. And they ride the donkey ride. I do believe these two are complicit. So my thing is, perhaps they were happy with the result, if I believe the latter, but intimately, together-wise, marriage-wise, I don't know. I'm on the fence. See, my spirit says, naturally, how can you be happy if you've done a horrible crime? But naturally, you didn't have any remorse if if it's planned. So I can't really say because I'm not, I'm not there. I just don't see how they could be happy. That's my point. I don't see how they could be happy. I really don't. We're going to play a little game. Are they having sexual relations? Put a 1 in the chat. Is Mary Sunshine and Chris Croth having sexual relations? Put a 1 in the chat. You believe these two are intimate. Sorry about my background. I had to open a window, get some fresh air in here. It's kind of stuffy. All right, I got 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe these two have sexual relations. They're intimate. Put a 1 in the chat. I only have 1 person. 19 people viewing. So, Mandy, you basically saying they have an open relationship, man. Somebody made a comment about Mr. Proudfoot's mouth during the live stream last. Wow. Looked like he had cold sores. I did notice his lips looked awfully glossy. And I never said anything during the chat until somebody brought it up. It looked like he had cold sores on his mouth. And then somebody else said they believe she had one on her mouth. I didn't really notice that she had a cold sore. But anywho, it's been kind of warm here in Tennessee. So I don't know why his lips would be, why he would have cold sores from the weather, let's say. Because it's been rather warm in my region. And naturally, the bottom of the state would be warmer than East Tennessee. I'm just saying. So, Chris Croft, have you been doing something somewhere else with your mouth or your private parts? Just asking. I'm sure I won't get an answer. So, Buffalo Mountain is the only one that believes these two are having sex? Wow. 19 people watching and only 1 person voted in the chat. Come on, you guys. Stop the nonsense now. All right. How many of you in the chat believe they're not having sex? That is 2. Perspective says no. So I've got 1. All right. I got 2. I got 3. Perspective says the body language was telling, okay? I'll put that as a poll as well. Body language. Very good point. I said the same thing. No touching, no intimacy during that interview as far as talking about the kid. Because, I don't want to talk about Sebastian during this live. But anyway, the body language was off. It was neither one comfort the other one. So we will put that on a poll. So far, I have 2 people that say they are not having sex, and only 1 person says they're having sex. 23 people watch. 23 people watching. Come on, you guys now. You obviously want this to be a very short live stream. Perspective, would you like to come up here and talk to the queen? You're 3 hours behind me. Linda says they're having sex. That's 2. Country, that's 30. I mean, it's 4, I'm sorry. Because perspective, sky. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, hit the link, honey. 4 people say they are not having sex And I believe, too, you said that they are. $22 people watching. What you mean real quick? What you got going on, Perspective? You can't talk to the queen for a while. This is live number 2, everybody. This conversation is about the proud feet. We will not be discussing the child. So there'll be no addressing the child during this live stream. I'm not putting them in the same topic, same live stream. Elizabeth, what are you talking about? Are these two intimate? Are these two happy? Let me put up another poll pertaining to the body language. Thank you, Perspective, for that. Ah, my friend. Yay! Hello, darling.
How you doing?
How you doing? Let me see your face again. You know, I never got to look at you because your picture is so small on your
really
profile.
Small.
I mean, on your profile. Can't really tell. Oh, you're handsome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. You want to keep yourself on or no?
I'm gonna keep myself off. Just so it's not a distraction.
You're not a distraction? Everybody likes to see a face every now and again.
Not my face.
Okay.
No,
whatever.
I'm just good.
Okay, so let's go here. Mr. Perspective calling me from California. Thank you so much for joining the Vault Excel.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe these two are happy?
No, and it's just to answer your question real briefly, I don't. And just that the body language was telling. And being, if anybody remembers that interview where they just had their hands, they were all touching each other, even if it felt like a facade, to going to this interview, it's just like, okay. And then, like you said, the body language, he was looking at her. And then another, and I'll keep it brief with this, another telling thing is you wait till a year.
Take your time.
You wait till a year to come out with the next interview. So, and it's not really anything substantial. It's just like, okay, you're not really saying anything that was different from a year ago. You're just reiterating on the not you, what they're saying, the parents, Katie, and it's just like it just didn't seem like it derived too much from what they were saying already, and then it's so sad,
Okay. So you don't believe they're happy?
I don't.
Okay. Because I'm gonna take a poll on that during the chat too. After you say what you have to say, do you believe the two are having sexual relations, sir?
No, I don't think they are.
You don't think so? You don't think they're happy, and you don't think they're having sex? Wow!
I have this thing. I don't know if people look at it too. Maybe it's an old thing. Maybe it's something that was taught to me. Like the eyes never lie. And it just looked like it was real disconnected in that recent interview. I don't know if they're not happy, but even if they had or haven't had nothing to do with Sebastian per se, I think that is like haunting them, so to speak. So like, let's just say they didn't. It's still going to haunt them because they don't have their child, but it's so many conflicting things to make it seem like they don't even care from the past. So it's just like, I think this is kind of like God's way of like punishing them and being like, okay, you're not going to ever get away from this. You're not going to sleep. You're not, I'm a big thing on energy. That interview was telling and it just told me, it was just like, wait a minute, this is really off in a lot of ways. Even if you don't look at nothing that they say, just the language of like what you said, the body language, he was looking at her and kind of like, she was like kind of grasping for straws, so to speak. And he was just, so yeah.
Elizabeth says they are sad, maybe remorse. I asked that question also on the poll. Do you believe any of them have any remorse or regrets if they unalive the said child. Even though not supposed to be talking about the child, but anyway.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't see it. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Queen. I
that's
don't
fine.
see it.
Neither one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know some people, it's hard for people to talk about these two without bringing up the child.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but
That's
it is.
okay. But see, the interview was telling. So that's why I'm asking these questions, you see. That's why I tell people, you can't just take one part of the story and then try to put it on the back burner and act like it don't exist.
Mhm.
There was no intimacy in the interview.
Right.
There was no intimacy much in the first one. I think they may have held hands in the Olivia Chronicles, her interview.
Yeah.
But usually a person will console another person when they're crying. There's no consoling. There's no touching the shoulder. There's no hugging. They grasped hands at the end, right before she cut it off. That was it. And I find that strange you would wait until a 23-minute interview is over to touch hands.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. That interview was weird.
Go ahead. Do you believe that Christopher Proudfoot is having an affair with another woman or women?
You know, I can't say that. I think there's a disconnect in the relationship. I won't say
I'm just
that.
saying you don't see him as the type out here sleeping with
do I? Oh no. Does he look like that? Or yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, but you don't. He looked like that, but you don't think it's.
I won't. Nah, I don't think so. I won't say he.
Well, tell me why. No. Tell me why you don't think he would.
I don't say I don't think he would. I don't. I think being on, how we're in this, how do I say? Like everything is on the internet, right? And then I think it would be hard for him to do that and not be seen, and then also not it being shown on the internet. That's why I'm kind of in between.
So you said because he's on the internet and everybody knows who they are, he wouldn't risk having an affair. That's what you're saying?
I mean, I don't think it.
No, I'm just asking.
That's what I feel. Like I don't think. I'm not saying.
Well, tell me why you feel that though. Tell me after all you've seen his behavior, he's very cocky. He strikes you as somebody that would care about what people thought and being caught with another woman.
No, you put it that way. No, not at all. Not at all. But I think that would kind of bring in more stuff towards him. Yeah, and I think, I mean, you bring up a good point. You bring up a valid point of
because think about this. If you don't care about, let's just say they did what they did. Would that strike you as somebody that would care about getting caught with another woman?
No, not at all. Not at all. Okay. No. Nah. But I mean, like all this is, like looking at it from my perspective. That's funny. I don't think it's conducive to do it, but I would not sit here and say I would be surprised if he did.
You're trying to put morals in the story. No. You can't do that.
I'm not trying to put morals. I'm just
you are basically right now giving me opinions according to Christianity and the Bible. We're talking about these people.
Yeah, nah, yeah. I mean,
Queen, you don't know that. Well, I know one thing. I know what I've seen, and it ain't good.
No, for sure. No, I'm not trying to put that. I'm not even trying to say that, because if you ask me, it's just my opinion. You've asked me, what do I think?
That's what I'm asking you.
No, I'm saying aside from the affair, I'm saying in its entirety, do I think that they had something to do with it? In my personal opinion, it would be. It's kind of hard. The evidence, not even the evidence, just
that's why I told
from interviews to interviews.
We weren't going to talk about them and the kid. We weren't going to talk about the kid or none of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Just based off that last.
I don't want to mix the two in the subject about the child and then what they do and don't do personally. That's really whatever happened with the child is past tense, in my opinion.
Right. So we're just basing this off of the last interview.
This live stream is only about them. I don't want to put Sebastian in the conversation. I've already talked about Sebastian already.
Yeah.
My conversation is about these two, how they're navigating right now. If they are intimate, if they are happy, if they're in a space where they are as one.
Nah, I don't think they could. How could you be?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know the premise of what.
Well, go ahead. So just go on and get it out, man. Look like you want to say something, so just go on.
No. I don't. I
With
was
it.
just. Nah, I'm good. Yeah, I don't know. Just off of that, it's really simple. I don't think so. I don't think nothing needs to be explained. It just based off of that interview, it just looks kind of weird. Just off like
Well, do you see them having children together?
No, simple no.
Do you think she wants a child by him?
Nah.
Huh?
No, I don't think so.
Why you say that?
I mean, him being cocky, not trying to go, just who his demeanor.
Mm. Mm. Do you see her being one to have an affair? Ooh. Am I question too tough for you tonight?
It's not tough. I'm trying not to bring too much of the past, like you said, and I'm trying to just kind of look at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you find it hard for you to talk. What you find it hard to talk about them without talking about Sebastian?
No, I'm not talking about him per se. I'm just talking about their actions from other interviews. It has nothing to do with Sebastian.
Okay, I'm just
so
asking.
just based off of like for instance, based off of like I don't want to even say his name, but Chris, how he was acting since from then to now. I mean, bro doesn't seem like he's screwed on too tight. He seems like he's very ego driven. Like his I mean, in terms of like, I don't think he can keep his cool. I really don't.
The lid is about to pop. Is that what you're trying to tell us? The lid is about to pop.
I've heard him. I've heard how he's talked to other people, and we're not blind or naive to the fact of how he's talked to certain people in his interviews.
Up here, yeah.
So, and I think she wouldn't want to do that because of how crazy this guy is. I think she would have to wrestle with, if I get caught, what's this dude going to do? So that, but in hindsight, I feel like, again, this kind of conflicts with each other is, I feel like a little bit of how they have something to do with it. So.
Okay, so let's go here. So basically, you say you think that she would be afraid to have an affair because of his demeanor. Well, are you saying that Mary Sunshine is afraid of Croth?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be hard not to.
Okay.
It'd be hard not to with that kind of. I mean, think about it.
But what if she is a cold calculating person, as some people have said in the chat over the past year, that they don't think she's that submissive? So you're basically saying she's also submissive too.
That's the thing. So I think, look at it from this way. I think it's an act of her trying to be all innocent about things. I think it's a real act. But again, I'm not trying to be like it's mumbo jumbo, like everything that I'm saying is like, because I'm bouncing all over the place. Because
I'm trying to keep up perspective.
Because it sounds that's what makes this so hard, because it almost seems like it's an act and it's not for real. Because let's just say, so to speak, they're in it together, then it just doesn't really matter, right? Because now it's like, okay, what if all this is an act, right? And this is what I want you to do, and because it's like, if it's an act, then how we are perceiving it is like, okay, look at the body language, look at this, look at that. But if this is what they want all along, then we've already kind of low-key fell into that trap. So
I think they were similar creatures. See, that's what they always say about laws of attraction. Just like, when you meet people who you say is not your type, but you date them anyway. But then somebody's going to judge you and say, well, you attract what you are, which I don't necessarily agree with that saying. But I think with these two, they were the same, and that's why the laws of attraction brought them together, the universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because in order to do what I think they've done, you would have to be the same. Mm-hmm. There's no way a decent human is going to go along with doing that type of act. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have no reason to do that.
Yeah.
You have no reason to do that unless you both are the same. Elizabeth Phillips in the chat, what are you talking about? They're sad. Sad about what exactly? So I'm really not trying to talk about the child. They're sad. So what are you trying to say? You don't believe they did anything?
And I also feel like how I assess things, I would like to look at how they were before. Like who are they? Who are these people that we're looking at?
You mean before they met?
Yeah, and kind of depict.
Well, I think we know who they were before they met. She had a troubled life. She was young. She went in the military. She left a child. Things weren't right with her husband. They had marital problems, CPS reports, allegations of putting the child in the company of pedophiles. Then you got Chris. He's had numerous wives. We know that he abused one of Nina's children. So I don't think neither one had a great past before meeting.
Nah. So then it's not surprising if, the conclusion of what I feel is like, man, this seemed like an act. This don't even, And then, yeah, I'm gonna keep it there. It's kind of hard not to. I'm trying to tiptoe because I don't want to bring. I don't want to bring. It's just I don't know, man. It's very, very.
Well, you ain't gonna be able to talk if. I want you to quit talking around the subject and just gonna say perspective. Damn. Say it.
No, I'm just trying to be respectful of obviously.
That's what I'm saying. This is the point that I've always made with people about content.
Mm-hmm.
Why I stopped talking about him.
And I solely agree.
Because nobody can stay on topic. It goes left very quickly.
Yeah.
And because you have people messy and meddlesome into crime, you can't stay on topic. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody's wanting 5 minutes of attention, which shows me a lot of people are not in it for the right reason. Because in the end, when you look at the case itself, you really don't have anything to go on except for them talking to the public and other people intervening. That's all this case and a lot of these true crime cases are about. If you dissect it properly, chop it up, put it in little boxes, you had nothing about this kid from law enforcement. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
So everything about him has been what the parents did for a year and what they didn't do, and other messy people jumping in that's on social media. You chop all that shit up and divide it up. It's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing concrete about the case.
Yeah. It's kind of everywhere too. It's just like, and then now
what are you talking about? We're talking about the Proudfoots. We're not talking about anything else in this chat. That's it. This live stream is not about Sebastian Rogers. Let me make that clear for anybody listening, ear hustling. This content is not about the child. I've already done videos about him.
Hundreds.
You need a reference? Feel free to go back and watch my earlier live. This live stream is not about the child. Go ahead, finish, honey.
No, it's just crazy, and just to kind of have to relive the interview again is just like, man, and there's nothing concrete. So, I didn't want to take up too much of your time because I just wanted to come up here because you asked me to.
How you taking up my time when I just started? We ain't been talking for 34 minutes.
No, I know. I'm just saying because I have to go. I'll just kind of.
What you got to do?
I got to attend to my house.
Children?
So, yeah, I have a son.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I know you have a child, but I was just saying I didn't know what you.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to come up here because I support what you do and you work hard. So I always.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate it. So basically, before you tap out of here,
yes,
you
ma'am.
Believe that they're not intimate.
Correct.
Don't believe they're happy.
Correct.
Do you believe that one or the other will turn on the other one?
That is a great question.
It is, isn't it?
It's a great question. I knuckleheads been together this long. Nah.
So stupid. Oh my God.
That's a great question. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that
You done
one.
went
That's
back on Fred Sanford. What heads about them damn knuckleheads?
Hey, man.
You a fool.
I'm serious, Queen. It's just man. They yeah. That's a great question though. I would have to get back to you on that one. Big.
No, what's so hard about it? What's so hard about it?
Because like at this,
tonight. What's going on?
I'm not struggling.
What's going on at your house? Damn.
And nothing is happening. It's just it's kind of like looking at them. They're so like they're just it's something is missing. It's just like when I look at them, nothing seems genuine. Yeah,
empathy.
For sure. It's
two cold people.
Yeah.
Eerily similar. The universe brought them together, so it wasn't hard for them to do what I think they've done.
No, for real, because they come from it, so it's just
They're
like
same cloth.
Yeah,
same cloth.
And it's not surprising. That's what I'm saying. It's not really
right.
Like
Why do you think a lot of people aren't with other people?
Yeah. And sometimes them low vibrational people attract them low vibrational people.
Yeah.
So
low vibration, I'll be damned.
I'm just saying. You know.
Do you believe they'll stay together?
Yeah, that's another great question. I think that all depends on what happens. That's why it's kind of hard to.
So let's just say there was an arrest. You feel like one would flip?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Wow. Now that's the first time you come out with a straight ass answer.
Queen, stop it.
Damn. It's a guy to get a straight ass out of this damn man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but see, you're the
now
thing that makes.
Imagine the answer you just gave. So that means these two just gonna be together really ho hum until something pops off.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm kind of alluding to. That's why I say I don't really think that they're wanting to. I think that because of what's happened, they are.
But you made it happen. As I said, if I believe what I believe, they made it happen. So what's the problem now? Because that's the whole point of what I said in my last slide. You have to own there will be ramifications for doing anything wrong or illegal. That's just the universe. That's just the way it is. It's in the scripture, whether you believe it or not. You can't think you're going to walk around here and do crazy shit and there won't be any ramifications.
Right. But you see that's a testament to we talking about cockiness. We talked about same backgrounds. Let's say she the same way. You just said it yourself. They're probably the same way. So again, that could be.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it, Queen.
So imagine, like we said, if that happened, you also have to think to yourself, would one of them do it to the other one? Bingo card.
Right. Checkmate.
I feel weird. I'm getting bad vibrations by this person. I think they might flip on me. I'm going to have to handle them as well.
Correct.
Because I talk about this all the time. How far are you willing to hold the secret?
Correct. I'm going to come on mute. Mic off.
Imagine the other one has thought about knocking off the other one. Shut your mouth. Hello. I guess
I hear you, Queen. I'm gonna turn my mic off real quick.
Okay, let me ask you this and then let you check out. Do you believe that one of them has thought about unaliving the other one? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, Queen.
I said, do you think one of them has thought about unaliving the other one?
No, I don't think so. Not right now. I don't think so.
I didn't say right now. I said thought about it.
Oh, just in general. I don't doubt it. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I
I
thank you
don't
for
doubt it.
joining me.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you,
Yeah,
Queen.
okay. Come back later.
I will.
Okay, honey. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye bye. All right, everybody. That's Perspective from California. Thank you for joining me. I'm asking all pertinent questions pertaining to these people because the interview was telling once again, a year later, that something is off between the two. There's no intimacy, there's no comforting. But as we've learned with certain type of individuals in this type of situation, if it is indeed a crime, that how could it be? Because you've committed the ultimate sin if it is true. How could it be one love, number one, between the two? Why aren't you lovey-dovey in public? You're already acting anyway in front of the camera. So why not play it all the way out? Touch an arm, touch a kneecap, rub a shoulder, wipe away her tears. You couldn't even do that. So this is why I'm asking these questions during this live stream pertaining to the relationship of Mary Sunshine and Chris Croth. Are they happy? Are they intimate? Do they talk? Are they relating to one another? Do they spend time together? The Queen is asking pertinent questions because these questions may eventually be the downfall of these two individuals, which may lead us to the truth about what happened to the child. Okay. So I had two people who believe that the two are having sexual relations. And then four of you said you don't believe they are having sexual relations. So I guess I need not ask if they're happy then. So we'll go ahead and ask anyway, just because it's the topic of the video. Are they happy? Number one. Put a one in the chat if you believe these people are happy. Is this couple happy? Once again, I see people can't follow instructions when I go live. I ask you not to do something, and you just take it upon yourself to come in this chat. And yes, I'm going to use the word disobey. Because as I said, this live stream is not about the child. And that's all I ask is one simple thing. You can't even do that. This commentary is about the bio donor and her husband. It is not about Mr. Rogers, and it is not about the child. I've made commentary about the child for days. And all I ask is one simple damn thing, is to discuss the bio donor and her husband. And you all refuse to give me one live stream just about the damn parents. Like high school breakups, but she's hanging on. Why? Not sure. But in what? Elizabeth, would you like to hit the link so you can stop typing? Because a lot of you all can't explain yourselves thoroughly by typing. It's not to be disrespectful, but it's easier to keep the continuity going if you hit the live stream, so that way people can understand your point and you don't have to keep typing. Just hit the link and you can explain yourself thoroughly. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe these two are happy. $21 people watching. Nobody can answer the question. Wow. Guess I should have went live from my other device. I'd got more responses. Well, how many of you believe they're not happy? Put a 2 in the chat. Tough audience, I must admit. Are these two not happy? Mary Sunshine and Crith Croth. Put a 2 in the chat. They are not happy. Do you see one or the other turning on the other one? Do you see either one ever getting a divorce? Is one of the two having an affair? Lots of questions I can ask. I can't keep the continuity going because nobody wants to answer the damn questions. To put a 1 or 2 in the chat on the questions. What is the problem? Lord have mercy. I'm confused. $11:08 Eastern Standard Time. Going back to my question earlier, are they intimate? 7% of you said yes. 32% of you said no. Sometimes, rarely, 38%, and not sure, 24%. So no and sometimes, rarely are almost neck to neck. 32% no and 38% sometimes. Very interesting. Well, I don't know what's going to happen with these two. As I said before, you can weigh it 2 ways as far as these two actually being happy in their relationship with one another. I can't really say. I don't know what to think, because my thing is with the interviews could be just the obvious. She doesn't know how to talk in public. She didn't really want to talk in public. So she, was grasping for straws during that interview. But my thing is, he's not going to show intimacy with her, for one, if they did what I think they did. That's first and foremost. Number 2, there's no empathy for the crime, if indeed it's a crime. So he'd have no reason to rub her shoulder, wipe away her tears, because they're both glad. So that's why I said everything's a double-edged sword. Everything depends on how you look at the storyline. So no, I'm not going to wipe away her tears. No, I'm not going to hold her hand and rub her shoulder blade, rub her hair, rub her face, because I'm glad that we did what we did. So I don't need to console her on something that we agreed on in the first place. I have no need. I have no need to console her. We agreed on this. So why am I going to be rubbing on her shoulder, rubbing her hand, rubbing her arm? It's okay. It's okay. You got this. We're in agreement. So see, that's the flip side. Another side could be, well, He's an empty vessel. He don't want to console her. Everything's about perception. But I do believe these two are evenly yoked in mischief. That I do believe. From the beginning to the end. Do they have remorse, regret, if indeed it's what I think it is? Probably not. Because you have time to think about your actions, especially when you're dealing with something severe as taking a life. Okay? But I think these two are cut from the same cloth. That's why they navigated towards one another. The universe brought them together. But we have also learned that what can bring you together is what will tear you apart. And you hear that a lot with people when they tell you what went wrong in the relationship. It's amazing how the things that you thought were a turn on was an attribute will be the same thing that you ended up not liking or despising about a person. Such as their laugh, their sense of humor, their jokes. In the end, the jokes aren't funny. The humor is not funny. They're not attractive to you. Okay? Oh, she was pretty, but she's not pretty to me now. He was handsome, but he's not handsome to me now. Things change. People change. And once again, as I said, perception changes. I may perceive you one way today, but 10 days from now, I may not perceive you in the same way. I may not look at you the same way. So that's another thing. Do they look at each other in the same way as they did when they first met? The attraction to one another. Are they even attracted to one another? That's another question I'm going to put on my community post. Feel free to take the polls, everybody. So I'll be ad-libbing as I go through this live stream. I probably won't hold you all much longer because I see some of you having difficulties in giving your responses to the questions. For some reason, I don't know what it is. Rough day, I guess. I just decided to go ahead and do it late. Yeah, bring the content later in the night. All right, take the poll, everybody. Are these two attracted to one another? You'll have 4 options. Well, 3. Yes, no, and not sure. Will they stay together? Put a 1 in the chat. Will these two stay together? Put a 1 in the chat. Will they leave one another? Put a 2 in the chat. Weigh in, everybody. Once again, take the polls on my community page. I'm basically asking you the questions that I have on the community page. Well, thank you, Mr. Perspective, for briefly joining me. He was willing to come up here and share with the Queen. Now, usually if I don't put the link in the chat, that's when somebody wants me to drop the link when I'm going live from my other device. Now I go live. I may have to bring you the live stream. Nobody wants to comment on this subject matter. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, I'm going to say this, then I'm going to check out of here. You really can't say what will happen with these two people. Because in the end, we don't know them. We just know that things we have seen of them in the past year have not been good, have not been delightful, has not been becoming of two alleged grieving parents of a missing kid. And I don't know what's going on with them personally, mentally, sexually. Don't really care. This is just content under the circumstances. I ask these questions. But you can never say. Because as I said, how you start sometimes ain't how you finish. And a lot of times how you start, especially if you started off rocky, it ends rocky, okay? And I don't really know how these two started off back in California. But what I can say, what I've seen play out on social media, news interviews as of late, I don't see anything good happening with these people. I don't see anything good happening with them as a couple, in a relationship, investigation, anything. I don't see anything good coming from these two. How could it be? Because if they did what I think they've done, I don't see anything good coming from their relationship, from this union. They're probably not happy. They're probably not happy with one another. They're probably not happy with current circumstances, the scrutiny. But like I said, if you did what I think you did, then it's par for the course. You can't expect something good to come from something bad, something horrific. That's just common sense. And usually people like this, they're sociopaths, psychopaths, they live in their own universe anyway. They're not even in the real world because they've decided to, commit the ultimate sin with no remorse, no regard for life. So they're not even in the real world. They're not thinking with level heads. And that's why I said turning on each other most definitely can happen. Because you're talking about, hello, Gigi, you're talking about survival of the fittest. Somebody's got to try to stay afloat. And if one are both going to be worrying about what the other one's doing and saying, meeting and greeting, making new friends, it's going to be a problem. As I said earlier, I can't see these two meeting new people because one's going to always be worried about what the other one is saying. Now, you make sure you don't say anything. Now, you make sure you don't slip up. I can see that happening with these two. Just from the lives, the way they've portrayed their lives, the child not having, an exuberant lifestyle for a kid. She doesn't appear to have that type of lifestyle. I don't know what the hell he's got going on because he's out of sight through the week. So, as they say, life imitates art. Can she even make friends? Can he make friends? And like I said, if you go back to the drawing board of what they could have done, how can you genuinely be a friend to someone? But you don't even have respect for a human life, a child. You can't genuinely be a friend to a grown-up. There's no way. Gigi, how you doing, honey? You coming in late, almost an hour into this live stream. I would see either one worried about the other one. What they're doing, who they're talking to, what they're saying. I assume they both walk on eggshells around each other probably. Or let's say other people. Worried about what they say, don't say, how they act. And they're going to be like that because they know that people are watching them. As Perspective said, he didn't think they would do anything to the other one, or one wouldn't be having an affair. Christopher wouldn't be out sleeping around because of the scrutiny. But like I said, if you're the type that's done the ultimate sin, what do you care about being caught having sex with somebody else or being caught having an affair? You're already showing the world you're on an ego trip. You're self-absorbed, you're selfish, you have no empathy. So why would you care about what somebody think as far as you having sex with another woman or a man. You wouldn't. I don't think you would care. I don't even think you'd care about getting caught. Oh, working third shift. Okay. Why would a person care what people think? And he doesn't strike me as somebody that cares what people think. He does not. He's been very vocal the past year. He doesn't strike me as somebody that cares about others' commentary. Hello, Rodney. Oh, you'll obey now? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a specific live stream because I didn't want to get into the who, the where, the what. I've already done that already. I've already done numerous live streams the past week pertaining to the child and investigation and everything. So this commentary was about this couple, their journey, where they are today. So somebody in the chat believes he was going to leave her anyway. Well, see, think about what you're saying. He was going to leave her anyway. Then if they did what I think they did, then what would be the point? You willing to commit a crime, let's say? We're going to go there. Pandora's box is open now. Then what would be the point in doing that? If you want to leave anyway. Mandy says, that's why I said he's getting his side booty and she's probably spending. Damn, Mandy, where you been? But how long can that work, Mandy? You just allow your husband to do whatever he wants to do in minus a child. He has had affairs. She knows about it. She's caught him. Good question. Very, very good question. Mandy says she's a cold fish. She don't put out, but she likes the lifestyle. Wow, Mandy, you don't think she puts out? Damn. Damn. That's deep. Making cookies. Well, there's nobody to make cookies for now. Hello. Susie Homemaker, that role is over. Now, she mentioned that during the interview, of course. Miss making food, but so like to me, your grocery bill be lighter. Stay woke. So I'm going to put that as a question on the community page. About the lifestyle. Very interesting. Very interesting. Is she settling with him because of the lifestyle he has offered her? Three options. Yes, no, not sure. Take the poll. I think the reason they didn't hold hands in the recent interview because they got flack from it. Another one they did. People said it was sus and they showed their hands. Okay, well, they did it again. So obviously they wanted to, or somebody recommended that they do that. And what I also find interesting is that now they've tried different networks to give their interviews too. But no interview from that, what is the network with Mr. Barris? This was 4 and then 17, but not WKRN. Why not? Why hasn't anyone spoken to WKRN? Do they have a personal vendetta or personal issues with that network because of the coverage by Mr. Barris? Don't know. Is Katie Proudfoot settling with Crith for the lifestyle he has offered her? Take the poll. Let me erase that because I lowercase letters. Hold on one second. Let me put it up again. Okay, everybody. Oh, my typing is horrible. I wonder how much money does he make? Chris Croft, how much money do you make? Just curious. Is she still working? Kids wanted some. Laugh out loud. Mandy, what are you talking about? Something tells me she's never completely comfortable doing the deed, her upbringing and all. Chris strikes me as the Facebook chat guy. Why would you say that? She's not comfortable. See, now y'all starting to get off the subject. What would make you think she wasn't comfortable? No way anybody should be able to talk you into doing anything like that. Because it's abhorrent to even cross the line in doing that. You have no reason to even think of doing that with a person that's almost legally grown or newborn or 5-year-old or 10-year-old. Doesn't matter the age. That's your child. So there's no way it should be your thought process, whether you're married, not married, dating someone. They decided they don't want the person. It shouldn't even be a thought. It shouldn't even be entertained. That's the point. By anyone. No matter who brought it up. Gigi says about 30, 35 an hour for a crane operation. Okay. Well, that's even more reasons not to go out here and hurt your kid because somebody hurt you. But then the flip side is that we sometimes act out the same behavior as the people who mistreated us. That's why you have people who are cruel to children and people. They're only acting out what was done to them. You raised around alcoholics, you'll probably be an alcoholic. You're raised around drug addicts, you'll probably become a drug addict. You were abused, talked down to, you'll probably go out here and do the same to your friends, your children. It's all about you trying to control the situation. You don't get any type of help, you will be in the same place your parents were. They had mental disease. You see that you're having problems. You have to be the one to go get control. Get help. Nobody can make you go get help. You see that you have an anger issue, anger problems. You have to be the one to go get help. Can't make a grown up go get help. Somebody can say, hey, I think you got anger management issues. Hey, I think you got problems. Hey, I think you have a drinking problem. But in the end, it is up to you to go get the help, seek help. And one, you have to want help. Like they say, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So if you don't even acknowledge you're a drunk, you don't acknowledge you have a temper, you don't acknowledge you're violent, you are on your own. And more than likely, you're going to go down in the abyss. And that's what's wrong with the world today. Many people have not gotten help for whatever the hell has been going on inside of their brains. And that's why they are in the spot they're in. Miserable, mad, angry, incarcerated, dead. It's all the same. You have to take control of your life. And if you don't know how, then you seek help, asking somebody for help. You got to ask. Old saying, ask and ye shall receive. Seek, ye shall find. You don't seek, you don't find. You don't ask, you don't get. Rodney says, I put no in the poll for them being attracted to one another. I think in the beginning, but I don't think so now. He tries new women like new clothes. Katie see this and trying to keep him. Interesting. Okay. So that's why I asked that question. Has he had affairs in the past? I'm also going to put that as on a poll right now. The latest poll, is she settling for him for the money? One person voted 100% yes. I'm sure they're not going to like my questions, but it doesn't matter. They're the topic of the hour, so why not? Why not ask? And if he got what we think he got with them cold sores on his lips, we know he's been having sex with outside partners, unless they both have something. They had it when they got together. Go figure. All right, everybody. Next question on the poll. It's about Mr. Croth. You're going to have 4 options. Has Christopher Proudfoot had affairs while married to Katie? Yes, no, not sure. Having one or more now. Take the poll. So, Gigi, you agree with his commentary that they were attracted to each other. Well, I would assume they were attracted to each other. That's why they got together. But then we also know that people get with people for various reasons. Money, looks, sex. Many people are only with people for sex. A lot of people will never admit that. Even right now, people they're married to, they're dating. It started out as a sexual relationship. And we've learned that with a lot of young people that most relationships start off with sex. Most people are never going to admit, yeah, I met him. We had sex as soon as we met. 2 days in, 3 days in, first night. You don't want to tell that because it's not a romantic story to say, yeah, we had sex first night. Yeah, we got married, had kids, blah, blah, blah. Played house. Nobody wants to tell that. It's not a pretty story to say. The way people talk. And I have met all types of people, and I see all types of people. I listen to all types of stories from people. You already know that most people, there's nothing there. And they will never tell themselves that. They will never tell the world, yes, I'm with a buffoon. I'm a buffoon. I'm an ass, he's an ass. We have nothing in common but sex. We had that in common, but it's nothing now. Sex ain't good now. I don't like the sex. I ain't attracted to him. I'm only there because we're playing house. I don't want to start over. I want to find somebody new. I've heard all type of conversations from people. One chick, she's with a guy right now. They're married. She knew he was a whore when she met him, okay? Let's keep it real. She knew he was a whore when she met him because he was married when she met him. She had an affair with him. He divorced the wife. They kept dating, but he still was having sex with other people. When I last talked to somebody about this couple a year ago, another person told me he's still having sex with different women. There had been a blowout of another woman that she found out about. But this is what I said to myself. That's what she wanted. And I remember in a conversation with her years ago, she said she didn't want to go try to find somebody else because she already knows how hard it is trying to date. She knows what he's about. She knows him. She knows he's a whore. So why go out here looking and start the process over with a new person, I guess, to only get burned again? So you're entitled to your opinion of that. Should she went out here and tried to date other people or stay with a whore? So instead of her just dating the whore, she married the whore. He also brought a child into the relationship while they were dating, living together. Frankly, they were doing too much, in my opinion. Because my thing is, old habits die hard. He likes Pussy, okay? He's got a habit. It's like candy. So he is never going to stop having sex with other women. She knows this. So now you're talking about risking STDs, HIV, being humiliated, being approached, having somebody get in your inbox, find your phone number, address. You are taking a hell of a gamble just to say, I know this person and I don't want to go out here and find anybody else. And I don't think she understands that. And some will say she's a fool. Why are you holding on to somebody that's a nothing, a nobody? He didn't have shit when you met him. He's only come up because of what you got. He's talked about her bad in the street to the other woman because the other woman came to Queen and told me all the ugly things he was saying to her about the girlfriend, who is now the wife now. So he is a whore. And everybody likes this whore. Obviously, he's got good penis. He's obviously very popular here in Knoxville. As I call it, community dick. But there's a price for community dick, okay? Let's keep it real. Excuse my language. Same thing with a female. That's why I'm telling you. The stories I could spin to you about people, relationships. I've shared my own experiences on this network. In the end, that's usually all it's about. It's the sex. There's nothing there. We get people will hold on to people for dear life just because the sex is good. But it's a hell of a price to pay. When you're being disrespected, you're not being valued. At some point, you have to say, well, I own my shit. I'm only having sex with him because I like it, vice versa. But I don't expect anything from him. So I tune out what I really want just to get the sex. Now, you know this. That's your business. You want to ride the ride. But as I said, I think a lot of people know they are not happy with the person that they are with. And it didn't start off vainglorious. Because if you listen to some of the stories, as I just gave you a for instance, it was garbage in the beginning. So 9 times out of 10, it ain't great down the road. Hello, Jess. Mandy says, I think maybe they feel stuck together because of what they're potentially involved in. Well, I've mentioned that. Like I said, I believe these two are eerily similar. That's why they were attracted to each other. They both have cold spirits. So that would have had nothing to do with the child. That was you two meshing before the child even got to the age of 15. So I think they're the same. Because as I said, there's no logical reason, one, to commit a crime against a child. Number two, it doesn't matter whose child it is. It's wrong. It's illegal. You're breaking the law. And it's inhumane. Okay? And even if somebody does something spiteful to you, we're not supposed to go out here and put our hands on them, unalive them. You're talking about a child. So it doesn't matter whose child it is. You know it's fucking wrong. So that's why I said their spirits were the same in the beginning, which has nothing really to do with the child if you really chop it up. That's why I always tell people to compartmentalize the people and their actions. You'll see it's bigger than what you think it is. Because really, most people just think it's all about the kid. No, honey, it's bigger than that. You got to go back to the beginning of the story. These are two cold individuals who came together, jacked up. So there's going to be mischief and mayhem, whether there was a child in their life or not. Checkmate. Stay woke. For all we know, could be another person knocked off, and they're grown, not a kid. I'm woke. I'm all day woke. See, a lot of you are focusing on the kid. It's bigger than the kid. It's way bigger than a kid. You're talking about two eggs mixed together. They're not right. They were never right. Because as I said, you can't logically explain doing this if indeed it's true. We're not talking about committing fraud, together, selling drugs together, getting high together, getting drunk together. It's way deeper than that. Because I say this all the time about going along with the program. How far are you willing to go with a person, number one? How far are you willing to go to hold the secret that you hold? This ain't your typical type situation when you're talking about unaliving a human being. You've gone out of the realm of basic logic and understanding and common sense. This is why I said they were already tainted before the child came into existence, before they met each other when she had the child. Katie and Chris are one and the same. Well, see, what you got to understand is, obviously, you all are missing my point. She was already doomed before Christopher Proudfoot came along. Because you have to use deduction. She could still be in this situation had she not met Christopher Proudfoot. You all aren't listening. Same for him. He already has a bad track record with women and women with children. The universe brought two like people together. It doesn't matter that they're together. They were going to be in some bullshit had they met other people, just like the whales. Don't you get it? Candace had a fucked up life before she met Donald Wells. He had a fucked up life before he met Candace. They got together, they still fucked up. So don't think because they're together, this wouldn't have happened with other partners. They're not happy people. You're talking about two miserable people linked up. What good can come from two miserable people? Come on now. Nothing. She's probably never been happy. He's never been happy. So it wouldn't even matter if neither one had children. Shit wasn't going to be right. I always felt they were tied at the hip. Tied at the hip meaning what? They're the same? Without children? Gigi said she was already evil. Him too. I agree. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not about the child. It appears it's about the child. That's why you always have to go back in the book of life. Who were these people before either one met, before the child was born? When you go back in the book of life, you're probably going to see the obvious. Misery, misery, misery. That has nothing to do with the child. He comes along, perhaps he's a part of the misery. He's exacerbated misery. Stay woke now. But it's not his fault he didn't ask to be here. This is why you have to choose wisely the relationships you have with people. Having sex unprotected. Because one thing begets another. Everybody knows this. But yet we still foolishly go out here and entangle ourselves in shit we know don't mean us no good. I own my shit. I tell people that all the time. One thing about myself, I can own my shit. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing. So if I foolishly go into the abyss, I did that. Nobody did that. And yes, it's easy to throw daggers and say, well, you're doing this to me, you're doing this to me. But once I know that you are not right, then I have to own the part that I'm playing. To say, now I'm allowing you to mistreat me, lie to me, deceive me, so on and so forth. So that means I'm a willing participant. No matter if I think you can change, I want you to change, doesn't matter. It's what is at that time. And what is, it ain't right. So these two are already tainted. before the universe brought them together. That's why it should be a shock that we are where we are today and believing that these two have done something to a child, okay? Because they were already tainted before they met one another. That's what a lot of people don't seem to understand about people. Because a lot of times people don't want to accept that a person is already innately destructive, evil. You want to put it off on somebody else. Oh, well, he did that to her. She did that to him. No. They came together fucked up. So it's easy for them to fuck up together. Because you got to use common sense. If you want to put it all off on Christopher, come on. Then what's the part she played? Same thing with him. What's the part he played? They're both evenly yoked. They both have bad experiences with other people. And it's not to say that the other people that were involved with either one is great, nice, but the point is people have stories to spin about both. And the stories are not good. You're entitled to believe them, not believe them. The point is, it's been told, you're entitled to your perception of that information. But I think Chris had a bad upbringing, tyrant stepfather. So that means his mother chose a man who was not probably nice to him. And the mother, she probably was a tyrant herself because she allowed it. So this is what I'm saying. This is just a vicious cycle. So then he goes out to the universe. He mimics what was done to him as a child. Stay woke. Same thing with Katie. Tumultuous family dynamic. She goes out to the universe. She does the same. Neglectful. Don't give a fuck who she's bringing around her children. Leaving her children here, there. Letting anybody keep them babysit. It's the same game on repeat. That's all. Same game. Same game. I don't think these two would be happy with anybody, whether they had children or not. Because as I said before, if you don't get any help for your vices, you don't get help for your temperament, your disposition, it's not going to matter if you have kids or not. You're already carrying bullshit around. So whether you got a dog, a cat, a lizard, a bird, a parakeet, you're still fucked. It's only worse when you bring children into the equation, because now you got to share your time between the mate and the kid. And usually somebody's going to weigh higher, either the child or the mate. Take your pick. And in this case, it looks like the stepfather won. Okay? Obviously. So that goes to show you there was no value in the kid. Come on with it, Queen, because somebody ain't listening. There was no value with the kid before Christopher came along. That's why I always tell people, you got to pay attention. Because sometimes shit's sitting right in front of you and you just don't want to see it. The child was never valued. You just can't let some random person come into your life and override your senses and your sensibility about your own. So as I said, if it's the worst case scenario, if allegations are true of abuse, whatever, then that means she allowed this man to be more important than her kid. And that's a dangerous thing. And it happens every day, and you see it every day with true crime and child abuse and child neglect. And if a person don't bond with their kid, so see, now we're going back into the belly of the beast, the origination of the abuse. I just said it was going to be a problem anyway, kid or no kid. You want to endanger the lives of your child because your mind ain't right. So it don't matter if you got a man or not, you got a woman or not. You ain't right. So ain't nothing going to be right nowhere. Friendships, courtships, children, pets, don't matter. Do I think they'll stay together when he's found? Well, how could they stay together if he's found? I think the child is never going to be found. Not whole anyway. If the child's alive, where could it go? The child wouldn't be going back with Katie and him. You know that. They wouldn't want him back. I just mentioned that in my earlier live. If the child is actually alive, he couldn't go back to them if there are actual allegations in an open case. That's number one. Seth would fight tooth and nail to have custody of the child. She would only fight for aesthetic reasons, which is to put up a front in front of the public, but not really wanting the kid. And he would probably tell her, I'm not standing for you fighting for the kid. Let him go to his father. They would never have the child. Because forensic psychologists would eventually talk to the child and ask the child the truth about his relationship with Katie Proudfoot and Mr. Proudfoot. And the child would probably tell the truth. He wasn't happy. He wasn't treated well. So he would never go back to Katie Proudfoot. So I don't even think that would be an option. As far as the child going with Katie. Them staying together, yeah, they probably stay together because she would never get the kid. Now, could they somewhere down the road bust up? Possibly. Possibly. They possibly could bust up. Some of you believe they're already headed to Splitsville. I don't know. I can't say. I can only speak of what I've seen, and I don't think they're happy. That's the best I can come up with. I don't think they're happy. How could you be happy with what you've done? But as I said, the flip side is that they are content with what they've done, and they are meshing. Could possibly be happy. Even in, I don't know what the appropriate word to use. Because tragedy wouldn't be the appropriate word. A crime, let's say. I think where they will be miserable is that they don't like the scrutiny. But like I said, you did this to yourself. So if you did what I think you've done, then you brought it on yourself. So any scrutiny that you're getting from the public, live streams, videos, you brought that on yourself. And naturally, there's going to always be people who are not going to like you. They're going to disagree with you. They're going to assume things about you without having all the facts. But as I said, I judge people according to what they bring to the table. I don't like what the Proudfoots have brought to the table. I don't have to know them. I'm judging them on what I've seen by them, not gossip. Not he said, she said. Them and them only. Because I don't listen to all that he said, she said stuff. I'm judging them on their behavior. I don't like their behavior. I don't trust them. And as I said, I don't see the kid going with them. If indeed the child's alive, I don't see that happening. Because we both know they wouldn't want the child anyway. Well, if they break up, all I can say is prayers to the unlucky person that crosses their path. Because it'll be misery starting all over again with another person. That's the point, that this is nothing but a vicious cycle of abuse. They've been abused, neglected, so now they go out in the world and exact the same pain upon somebody else. So if these two were not together, they wouldn't be happy with somebody else. I doubt it. Because Chris is ego-driven, and I can't quite put my finger on her, but something ain't right with her. I think she's cold, but she comes across like she's mild-mannered, soft-spoken. But as some people have said, they believe there's another side to Katie Proudfoot. And as I just said, if she did what we think she did, then that means she's not this soft, mild-mannered female. It's all an act. Because that's the point. You haven't seen her at her worst behind closed doors, when she's not feeling the best, looking her best, how she talked to her child, how she talks to other people. See, you have no idea unless you're a fly on the wall. You can come back and tell us. Oh, the person you see on the news, she's nothing like that. I won't doubt it. She ain't nothing like that. Because she has control of this ship that she allowed to go down into the abyss without even talking to the public about her kid. So all she's done is tell us what she's done. But most of us have never seen her do anything, not publicly. And some people say, well, she don't got to prove nothing to you. Christopher don't got nothing to prove to you. Well, you got something to prove to your kid. You may not have nothing to prove to Angela, but you ought to want to prove something to your kid that's missing. Hey, I'm out here hitting the pavement for you. I want you returned whole. So I'm out here hitting the pavement for you. Somebody can witness and say, yeah, I see this lady out here all the time. I see this man out here all the time. I see her going door to door. I see her going to speaking engagements. I see her going to the schoolhouse, to the churches. You've not heard one person say that. Take the polls on my community page. Before I check out of here, I'm going to go back to the page and see how you all have weighed on the questions, if you all have answered any of the questions. Has Christopher Proudfoot had affairs while married to Katie? No responses. Is Katie Proudfoot settling for Chris because of money? Only one person voted yes. Are the Proudfoots attracted to one another? 67% no, 33% not sure. Proudfoots held hands only at the end of their news interview. Why? Proudfoots are disconnected, says a chat member. One person replied. Don't see their comment. Proudfoot's body language was off during a news interview. No intimacy. And once again, are they intimate? 72 people voted. Hell no, 32%. Yes, 7%. Sometimes, rarely, 38%. Not sure, 24%. Remorse, regret. For harming the child, 21% says Katie. She feels regret. 2% Crith. 69% neither. Not sure, 7%. Will either one turn on the other one? Yes, 41%. No, 16%. Not sure, 11%. Hope so, 31%. Sumner County Sheriff believe the Proudfoots are innocent after recent interviews. 10% yes, 45% no, 22% not sure. 22% also says they've already known they were guilty. First one to flip on the other one. 55% says it will be Chris. 25% says Katie. 20% says not sure. Is Mr. Proudfoot working on wife number 6? 70% of you said yes. 7% no. 15% not sure. He already has another woman. 8%. Are they happy? 2% yes. 84% no. Not sure. 8%. 6% they both want out. Your thoughts on the News 4 interview with the Proudfoots? It was bullshit. 86%. Believable. 5%. Not sure. 10%. Could care less. 0%. Those are my questions pertaining to Christopher Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot. Number 1, do you believe these two are happy? Number 2, do you believe they are having sexual relations? Do you believe there's another woman or man in their relationships? I didn't put that on a poll for Katie Proudfoot. Could be she's out here getting some on the side while her husband's working down in Memphis. Will they also stay in Tennessee? There are rumors that they were leaving. Don't know. Rumors they were selling the house. Haven't heard. That's why I'll say I don't bank on anything without a receipt. And so long as you're not hearing it from them, it's a double-edged sword. You can believe it, don't believe it. But I believe they're deceivers, so you still can't believe anything that come out of their mouths. Will they stay together? Probably, probably not. Can't say. Will one or the other turn on the other one? Can't say. If one gets arrested, will one step up and say, tell the truth, their role? Probably not. But if both got arrested, one would flip. And usually the one that flips is the one that gets the plea deal. Everybody knows that. Does she want children with Christopher? She probably did. Does he want children with her? Hell no. Should he have faith? Hell no. Is Nina fighting to keep faith from him? She should. And what's the end result pertaining to the case? Have no idea. Can only pray for the truth and resolution. That's my commentary. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. Take the polls on my community page. I'll be back with more hot topics. I need to bring an update pertaining to Kohlberger. Sean Puffy Combs. Sean Puffy Combs believes his constitutional rights were violated by the raids and searches of his LA, Miami homes. Allegedly, there's some new evidence material pertaining to Kohlberger. I'm going to go ahead and play that now while I'm live and knock that one out the ballpark, so I don't even have to come back and do a live on those people because I'm tired of talking about them. They're boring me. It's the same nonsense. Also, Mr. Gary Jones is still missing on a Coney Lake down in Georgia. Is he alive or is he down in the water? Today is now day 18. Also, a Princeton man has killed his brother. They both played on the same soccer team. What happened with these two brothers? Check out that Law and Crime piece. Very interesting information. Is it mental illness, sibling rivalry, or a bit of both? Very scary, scary situation. And 3 American tourists were found dead in police hotel room. What is it? Drugs, carbon monoxide poisoning? What happened? Let's hear this new information about Mr. Kohlberger, everybody.
Accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students. Brian Kohlberger's defense claimed that investigators acted inappropriately when using genetic genealogy to isolate a suspect in this case. According to an unsealed transcript, only one person's DNA was detected on the knife sheath. The detective learned Kohlberger's name only after the genetic genealogy, more than a month after the killings. A genealogist expert testified that the FBI admitted they'd used a database that was off limits to law enforcement. The judge decided not to suppress any of this evidence. Kohlberger's trial is expected to begin in August.
So, my understanding is that they got to make on this card 2 weeks after the kids died. So I don't understand what you all are talking about. Who cares? They checked the database. It's free information. People put it in there, so it's free. Now they're talking about judge unseals transcript of closed door hearing in Kohlberger case. Very interesting. I guess I'll share that to my community page. If you all are interested, Live Fox now is the source of that information. Guess I'll put up a poll about that as well. I think I did a couple weeks back or a month or so. I put up about the DNA. Some of you said it was free information. It's no big deal. Also, there was known that there was some unknown DNA at the scene pertaining to the kids, the home. Could be anybody. They had house parties. They had different people coming in and out. The girls probably dated guys. That wouldn't shock me. You have to bring me something more concrete. Where was the evidence found? On a bed pillow, a sheet, door handle, something of relevance. Something of relevance. But in general, that house, big as that house was, anybody could have been in that house. Any guy could have been in that house. Because they did say they had house parties. Allegedly, they had a house party that Friday, if that information is true, before the crime. So, you know, it is what it is. Also, there are new updates pertaining to Gene Hackman and the suspicious death of he and his wife. Fox Live has that report. I'm going to share that also to my community page. May come back and discuss that because I am curious to that information. Very scary. Very scary information. Lord have mercy. And also the Epstein files has been released. Names, flight logs. What will they reveal? Any other co-conspirators? People that engage in any type of sex crimes with children. And also Michigan House of Horrors. Vinnie Politan investigates. May try to talk about that tomorrow. You all want to hear that content. by Court TV. That is the woman who neglected 3 of her children inside of a Pontiac, Michigan condo. The children were left in squalor, house filled with trash and fecal matter. And they now have been placed in the custody of, I believe, the bio dad's father, their grandfather. How are they faring? How are they doing? Are they better? Are they getting better? Are they getting necessary help, mental help? What is the actual state of the 3 children? She also had a separate son who's 9, and he was living with his biological father. Just bringing you the said updates, everybody. Let's see what else we got. Now Nancy Grace has content saying Kohlberger may claim he's autistic to avoid the death penalty. Oh my God, I gotta share that. Now, where are you getting that autistic from? Gotta be kidding me. Okay, everybody, just going through all my updates, latest news. And then there's something about some young kid being accused as a serial killer. Damien McDaniel tied to 14 murders in 14 months. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's the same one that's considered the serial killer or not. I'm scared to even open that. Gene Hackman death, 911 call released. I'm going to share that as well. If you're curious, what happened to this couple? Foul play, carbon monoxide poisoning, murder, suicide. What happened? Then I want to show you some news from my local area here. A woman that went missing many years ago. Appalachian unsolved. Authorities still looking for woman missing from 2010. Idaho prosecutors seek to limit Brian Kohlberger's alibi evidence at murder trial. Oh, Jesus. I'm tired of hearing about this man. Just running through the latest developments, everybody. I got to do some research on this kid here. Accused of killing 14 people, Damien McDaniel. Well, who did he kill? And also there was a riot in Liberty County Jail. Dozens of inmates reportedly took over dorms. You can't make this up. All right, everybody, I'm going to check out of here. Just posted the latest developments. Take the polls on my community page pertaining to the Proudfoots. Drop your comment below. Feel free to go back to the replay at the beginning of this live stream. Got a slow start to this live for some weird reason. But anyway, I promised you all I would drop the links just in case somebody wants to come up and give their opinion. Only one person came up to join the Queen, Mr. Perspective, California. I want to thank him for coming on the panel briefly and being brave enough to air his opinions. As I always say, it helps the continuity of the content when people join the panel, but it is what it is. I will be back later, probably tomorrow, with a hot topic, and it might just be a roundabout of different topics, not just one specific topic, but I'm still covering the story out of Georgia where Mr. Jones' body is believed to be in the lake. It has not been recovered. They're guesstimating at least 24 days of a pop-up. We will see. And then we have to still ask the ultimate question. Did the dogs accurately hit on the water? And is he under the water? Because it is believed to have a lot of debris, trees down there, under the surface. So is he down there stuck and he just has not surfaced? And then also we have to ask, how did he and Miss Jocelyn get in the water in the first place? Was it foul play? Did he hurt her? Was she thrown in the water dead or alive? There was also water and air in her lungs. She was clutching her phone when retrieved. What really happened between no people? The one thing I'm never getting ready to do is I'm not vouching for anybody anymore. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, what they wouldn't do. I ain't doing it because you don't know people. So I'm never getting ready to say he wouldn't do that, she wouldn't do that. As I said before, who you knew at 15, that's not who the person is now. No way you can compare. No sense. You met somebody in school at 15 versus 35, 30. They're not the same person. And whatever they went through at 15, they didn't go through at 30, 40. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't know people, as with this case here. Two people, jacked up lives, met each other, and now they have a whole kid missing. You can't say, oh, when I knew her when. Oh, when I knew him when. They did this, they didn't do this. I can't see him hurting her or him, or you don't know people. You don't know people. And as I have said so many times when it comes to true crime, you'd be surprised what people will do for various reasons. For clout, for money, to keep a house, to keep a relationship, status quo. People do sick things because desperate people do desperate things. People who want to belong, be a part of something, do desperate things. And you see that a lot with young people. They'll do anything to belong. Get high, use drugs, smoke, pop pills. Why? And you got adults do the same damn thing because they're insecure. They're not happy with themselves. So they're looking for somebody to like them, people to like them. But there are ramifications for that as well. You sit here and follow people around, they're not going to do nothing but take your ass down. You have got to learn to think for yourself. Navigate for yourself. Be happy with yourself because in the end, only you can make you happy. Thanks for all new visitors, subs, guests. Everybody have a good weekend. Check out my community board for the movie of the week, which is Cellar Door, a very good movie, now free on Tubi. It's a very good movie. I highly recommend it. Like, share, subscribe. Once again, put your comments below this video. Take the polls. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Beganji 129 Cash App. You all have a wonderful weekend. And once again, tomorrow I'll try to come back on and we will talk about the latest hot topics pertaining to breaking news. Everyone be safe out there. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Thank you.